Hey, what's up, good people? I'm QC. Welcome back to this special edition of Talking and Grubbing. I'm continuing with my top 10 GOAT Super Bowl champions. At number 9, I have the 2019 Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs, they were coming off of a very heartbreaking loss to the New England Patriots at home in the AFC Championship game. Pat Mahomes was coming off of a historic MVP season. The Chiefs felt like they had all the pieces to contend and win the Super Bowl. They had Andy Reid as the head coach. Pat Mahomes had a breakout first year as a starter. Travis Kelce, one of the best tight ends in the game. Tyreek Hill, aka the Cheetah, one of the fastest wide receivers in the game. They also had a pretty solid running back in Damian Williams. And they had a pretty nice defense anchored by cats like Chris Jones, Frank Clark, and Tyrann Mathieu. So the Chiefs came into the 2019 season determined to finally break through and get to the Super Bowl and win their first Super Bowl title in 50 years. And they were celebrating their 60th season. The Chiefs, they got off to a very good start as they started 4-0, but they hit a snag between early October and early November as they lost 4 out of 6 to the Colts, Texans, Packers, and Titans. But they ended up righting the ship as they finished the season on a 5-game winning streak. They finished 12-4. They clinched the AFC West and the second overall seed in the AFC. Now, of course, their offense was just like that. Especially when you got dudes like Mahomes, Kelce, and Hill. They were fourth in offense. They averaged 384 yards per game. They were fourth in passing with 282 yards per game. They were 22nd in rushing, just averaging a little over 100 yards per game. They were sixth in passing TDs, which ended up being 30 passing touchdowns. That was they averaged 2.1 TDs per game, and they were 14th in rushing touchdowns, which was 16 TDs. And they averaged 1.2 TDs per game. Excuse me. Now, their defense, even though they had talent, they definitely ranked middle of the pack. They were 17th in total defense as they gave up 351 yards per game. They were 13th against the pass, giving up 226 yards per game. They were 25th against the run, giving up 124 rushing yards per game. They were 10th in points allowed, which they only gave up 20 yards per game. They were 11th in sacks. They finished with 45 sacks. They averaged 2.8 sacks per game, and they were 12th in takeaways, which they ended up with 23. The Chiefs rolled into the playoffs hot, and they were looking to avenge their loss from last season and finally break through and get to the Super Bowl. But it didn't look likely in the divisional round as the Houston Texans came out and took a 24-0 lead at Arrowhead. But then the Chiefs roared back in the second half and dominated. They ended up winning 53-31. Excuse me again. Next came the red-hot Tennessee Titans. The Titans, they came off with 2 great road wins against the New England Patriots and the number 1 seeded Baltimore Ravens, and they were looking for another upset to get to the Super Bowl. But the Chiefs, they were just too much as they took care of business and ended up knocking off the Tennessee Titans 35-24 in the AFC Championship game, getting to their first Super Bowl in over 50 years. This time in the Super Bowl, they were facing off against the San Francisco 49ers, who were having a great season of their own. Ooh, excuse me again. Now, in Super Bowl 54, for the most part, it was all San Fran. They were just hitting everything down the field, especially in the run game with Deebo Samuel. Also, the defense, They were getting to Mahomes, sacking him, forcing him into some turnovers. But the Chiefs, they wouldn't quit, especially in the fourth quarter, as they ended up scoring 21 unanswered points and ended up taking the lead 31-20. And then they would end up winning their first Super Bowl in 50 years. The Chiefs finally broke through after the failure they had the previous season, after the fans of Kansas City have been waiting for a Super Bowl title for a long time. They finally got it. And Mahomes was named Super Bowl MVP, as he ended up finishing with 286 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, with a 78.1 QBR rating. But also, you could have made the case for Damian Williams as well to either be Super Bowl MVP or co-Super Bowl MVP, as he had over 100 rushing yards and a touchdown. Excuse me. But this Super Bowl was the start of the Chiefs dynasty, as they're trying to go for a 4th Super Bowl and trying to go for the historic three-peat. Now, I know you're wondering, why did I pick this Chiefs team out of all Chiefs teams? Because the Chiefs, this was the most talented team they had ever had on both sides of the ball. Ooh, excuse me. They had Mahomes, Kelsey, Tyreek Hill, Williams. Also on defense, they had Frank Clark, Chris Jones, Tyrann Mathieu. This was a complete team. And I thought this team would be together a little bit longer to win a few more Super Bowls. Now, of course, the Chiefs have won 2 more without Tyreek Hill. But out of all the 3 Super Bowl winning teams, this team to me was the best team in the dynasty. They just had it all. You know, all over the field, just full of talent. So, to me, this was the best Chiefs team. All right, that's 2 down and 8 more to go. What do you think about the 2019 Chiefs? Do you think they should be on this list, or they shouldn't be on this list? Leave your comments in the comments section. Till next time, y'all have a good one. Love y'all to life. Salute.